Assalamualaikum. In this video we are going to discuss about the RAG architecture. What is the RAG architecture and why we use RAG architecture. First I will tell you why we use a RAG architecture. Basically RAG architecture, we use RAG architecture in chatbots or different chatbots are retrieving the answer sets from your own data sets. That's why we use a RAG architecture. RAG architecture is used to retrieve the answer from the particular data sets and give you a response. It's maybe in the form of JSONs, and the form of a JSON file, in the form of TXT file, in the form of PDF file, in the form of images or some other sources. It's used to retrieve the answer and provide the answer. If I give you example of ChatGPT also trained with the using data sets. It basically extract the data sets from it's extract the answer from the data set and give the response to the user. And the second thing that is involved here is the in 4 steps we have to make the embeddings and store it into the form of vector database. There are different types of architecture: RAG architecture and fine-tuning architecture. If you have a large amount of data, you can use a fine-tuning architecture. That's why let's discuss about the concept of RAG architecture. RAG architecture involved in the four steps. The first step should be is load. It's basically used to load the data sets in the form of written text. Like if you have a data in the particular file, it's used to be extract the text. It will particularly extract the text, it particularly extract the images. It's used to extract the content from the file and load the file. And after loading the file, after extracting the file, we have to make the splits of the file. Like if we extract the text of 10,000 words, it should make the splits of that file, that will make it more reliable and make it more fast. It's used to retrieve the data sets and make the chunks of data sets. Like if you have a 10,000 word, basically in this video I'm going to use open source module. That is a limit of it is to a chunk size is 1000. So that's why I'm going to make the one chunks 1000 word chunks. Basically if we have a 10,000 words paragraph, it should make the 1000 word chunk and then make another chunk and it's stored in the form of chunks. After making the chunks, we have to convert the chunk into the vectors. Like if we have made the chunks, we have to convert into datas, like numerical data like 0 1 3 form. It's form of data. That's why we use the vectors that will make it easy to understand and make the similarity search for fast similarity search. That's why we convert the data into form of vectors. After converting that into form of vectors, we have to store the data into the some vector database. You can use the different vector database, but in particular video we are going to use the vector database, that is FIAS. And you can use ChromaDB. I'm using FIAS because it is easy to handle a large amount of data, and it's open source. And it's after converting numerical and the data into numerical form, we have to store it into vectors. You can store it in RAM, or you can store into the storage device. But I'm in this video I'm going to store it into the storage and into the file in the form of file that is from that vector database. Let's start this video and let's begin the code. Basically we need some necessary packages that should be involved in this particular video. The first package that we are going to use is from LangChain. LangChain is basically module to make it more efficient. It's a framework that used to for making running the modules or making it more faster. So that's why I'm using a LangChain document. It's a document loader. Simply I will should have another project simply run dot. If I open the project that I have other project in my file, I use this same module. So if I find out that, I was simply going to copy the package's name, so it should not take waste our time. Okay, uh, this is the packages that we're going to use in particular video. Just going to paste the package's name. Okay, The first package is the LangChain community used to load the documents, and you can basically it's help load the different documents. I'm going to use the txt format, so that's why I'm using the text loader function that used to load the text txt files, and this and extract the content from the file. Then the second is the class from the text splitter from the LangChain community used to split the text in the form of chunks that have a class of recursive text splitter that split the text. And the third module that we need to use is transformer that is used to load our pretrained module from the transformer. And the fires is basically, I told you that it is used to store the data in the form of vector database numpy array that we are going to store into the form of numpy array to make it more reliable. And OS module that is used to check the existing files and perform the file related to existing file, perform the functionality related to existing file. And then transformer pipeline, we don't need this module, so simply what should I do? I will remove this line from it because we don't need a pipeline module in this project. Okay, after importing the module, what we have to do, we have to create a first function that is used to fires function that have a parameters that I'm going to provide a parameter that text and index path, at which path it has been stored. Index path, it is basically index path is a path where the our vector database file has to be stored. And then now we have to load the model. To load a particular model, I'm going to make a variable and using a sentence transformer function from this for loading a particular model that is all minimum. Let me check out the module. I have this Hugging Face website where I want to extract the module name. If I go to the documentation section, after opening the documentation section, what I have to do, I have to type here command that is known, I have to type in search in the search history that is known all minimum module, all minimum, all mini lm all sorry it's the all mini lm l6 v2 module that we are going to use in this project. Simply I'm going to copy the name of this module, uh, okay, and paste right there. Okay, and now correct the indentation. Just I'm going to correct the indentation. So okay, mini lm6 has been more model has been loaded. Now the second time we have to make the embeddings. We have to convert the data set in the form of a vector in the form of numerical form. So that's why I'm using a embeddings variable and tell that use this model and in code convert this model into form of uh, in the form of a numerical form. We have to pass a text here. Basically the requirement of it is to has to convert into float 32 bit, that we have to use the functionality of numpy here that has as float as sorry as type, and this is has a float 32 bit and put into the string. We have to put into the string. This is a basically it's a requirement of a files data vector database to the data embedding should be in form of float 32. So that's why I'm using a converting that embedding in the form of float 32 bit. First of all, it convert that text into the form of numerical form, and then it convert into float 32 bit embeddings. Now this second step, we have to calculate the number of chunks, how many chunks it should be created. uh, First of all, I've used the f string and write here message numbers of chunks are, and the number of chunks are, and provide the length of embedding. It's a similar to the functionality of it, and put in, because we are using f string, so I have to put into the braces and provide the embeddings variable here. Okay. Now it should calculate the number of chunks and provide the results of how many chunks we are using here. Now we have to give the dimensions of that. So simply what should I do? I make a new variable with the name of dimension, and basically used to uh, make the dimension of vectors. It tell the how and in how we have to write into the numerical form. Like if I give the dimensions of embeddings, if we use this shape function from here. It's a shape function and it's in this bracket and 1. It tell the it should be have x coordinate, it should be have one dimension like this. If I move to the this txt file, it's tell that it's going to tell that and it's going to store it in the numerical form like this: 1.2 separated by comma 3.4, and like this, comma. It's only give the one dimensions. It should give only one dimension. If I set two dimension, it should be provided with the two dimension like this. So that's it. Sorry, it's I have to give one in one dimension. Oh, I have give you wrong patterns. It should be have a 1.3 comma, and it should form a form of list. It tell the it should use this type of dimension here. Okay, and separated by comma, and the another one dimensional data sets, and it should be provided like this. Okay, after this telling the dimension, it should tell after telling the dimension, what we have to do. We also load the dimension in the form of files database, so that's why having used the files. From the files, from the files, I'm going to load the function that is known as index. Index flat L2 and providing the dimension. Let me check it out. I write the correct spelling. Index I should be smaller. I should be smaller. No, I should not be smaller. I think so. Let's check this out. If I got error, I will be correct this mistake. Okay. Index flat L2 dimension. I provided dimension to it. Now the first we have to add the embeddings. We have to add the multiple embeddings in the form of single embeddings. So what should I do? I use the index.embedding functionality here. Okay, we have to put into the variable, so I can access this dimension. Also we going to store the embeddings by using this dimension. It tell that as database store the embeddings in the form of this dimension. It's tell this line, this line tell this that it should be stored in the form of one dimension. Okay, embeddings, that's why I use the index variable here. So it's load the this function, and it's also load the embeddings to that particular functions in the form of that dimension. After loading this adding this dimension, we have to store it in form of file. So for this I have to use to write the file files write. So function from the files index, we should write the index file, and we have to provide the index uh, path to the particular file. We have to provide the index. First of all, it's add the embeddings. It use this function dimension, and also we have to define the index path here. It's tell that the file should store in this index path. We are in this index path variable, we are not defined that. We are going to define that at the end. For this, what should we have to do? The second step that we are going to use here, after storing the file, we have to print a statement that tell that the file has been stored. That is the file has been stored. Okay, that's it. I tell that the file has been stored, and the second step that should be involved in this particular, we have to make another function that search our particular result from the vectors data, and I name it search files, and we also need to give the index path file that can identify the path and index path. And the second thing that have model, we have to use the model here also, and txt also, text also. Okay, first of all we have to read a particular file. To read a particular file, I make another variable with the name of index and tell this variable that it should read the file. Files.read index is a function from the file that used to read the file, read the files index file, index, and we have to provide the index path to it. This index path has been provided. Now we have to define, also give the model, which model we are going to use. No, sorry, we don't need to define here. As basically what it should do, it's a function search files is used to make the similarity search from the data sets and provide the relevant answer from it. Basically we defined the index path where all the data are stored in the numerical form that may have the similarity in the form of numerical form. And we also loaded model and text, and index file should read the file that we has been created from this function and read that particular file from here. After this I will print a statement that user should know that the file has been read it. The the file has been read. Okay, after this we have to make some infinite loops, so the user can ask infinite question from the particular file. So I'm using a while true until the condition will be satisfied. It should give the response while true. Until the condition gets false, it should stop the loop, but it should be infinite. We are not going to give convert that condition into the false condition. That's why it should be infinite. Input, the user can input the query from the particular file. If I type here enter the question that you want to ask from file. Okay, that's it. The query has been added. Now the second thing, to make a similarity search, we have to convert the both queries and the data set in the numerical form. So for this we have to convert the query into the numerical form also. So simply what should I do? uh, I will make the embeddings of the query. To make the embeddings of the query, what I do, use the query embeddings from a variable. I am just getting embeddings function, uh, embeddings function. Okay, query embeddings, and this function has been created. Now we have to load the similar model and encode into form of numerical form. So I'm using encode function that convert the text into form of numeric. So I will using a list of query, because I'm going to store that particular queries in the form of list. So I'm converting the query in the list. And also I told you that we have requirement of file database that it should be in form of float 32-bit. So I'm using a float 32-bit. Okay, now we have to make the query embeddings, the now second steps, and we have to make the retrieve the answer from it. I'm using a k1 here. It should I told you, basically I make the variable that is equal to 1. It's used to retrieve the answer, only one answer for a particular file. For example, if the file contains the 10,000 word, and if the user asks the question related to this content in the file, if there are multiple questions but have different way of writing that answer but have a same meaning, it should retrieve only one answer. It should take any paragraph from the particular file, it should not provide each and every paragraph that have same meaning, but it should retrieve only one paragraph that have a same meaning. It should not retrieve all the paragraph that have same meanings, same answer. Like this, if I go to the some file that I made, that I'm going to use in this project is dan.txt. It should, for example, if there is a question, India is England 5.7 program bank. Okay, if this is a question and this is written in the file around 5 times, answer is written in the file around 5 times, but in the form in the different words but have same meaning, it should retrieve only one answer from it. Okay, it is simply just it's used to retrieve only one answer from it. And the second, then we have to, now the distance, we have to define that distance. It's a boolean condition until the condition is satisfied. It basically is bool conditions. And provide indices is equal to, it's a way of making a search in the content of a file, whole content in the file search. And providing a query, it's making a similar search. For example, it's going to match the query embeddings with the queries. So and telling that retrieve only one answer, it should match the data sets with the query and provide only retrieve one answer from it. After creating this, if the condition is true, if the condition is false, it should return. If the answer is not present there, it should return some. If answer is there, it should return that answer in the form, it's if this if statement, it tell that if answer is there in the uh, file, what it should return. I put the 0 here and also 0. It should extract the complete answer from the file from so that's why I use the 0 to 0. It's basically work with that. It should extract on complete answer from the particular content file. Like if you have answer of 2 lines, it should extract the 2 lines. It should not leave any line. That's why I use these 0 0 here. If answer is there, if answer is there, it should extract the whole answer from it and print the answer. Okay, now second thing that we have to do, after extracting the answer, we have to convert this answer into form of text, because it is the answer should be in the form of numeric. So to check, we have to check it around in the form of text. So we have to convert that numerical form text into the text. So that's why I'm using a function that is answer. We have using a variable that is basically our answer, should be an answer, and text, and providing indices here. Indices 0 complete answer. It should convert the complete answer in the form of text. Okay, now we have to print the answer. And f, using f string answer and answer, sorry, answer. Okay, now to retrieve the answer, if the answer is not present in the, if answer is not present in the content, it should retrieve the some string. So that's why I use else condition, so it can retrieve the if answer is not present in the particular file, it should retrieve the some string, so user can get know that answer is not available in the content. So I will type here, the answer is not available in content, the answer is not available in your content. Okay, that's it. Now we have to load the particular functionality here. We have to make the if name condition. I'm using this functionality here because I want to make a faster response, so that's why I'm writing in this way, so it can provide a fast response. You can write in a simple way. but I have to retrieve the fast answer, so that's why writing in organized way so it can easily provide a fast response. And if name equal to unders name and sorry if name and first of all, what we have to do, we have to load a particular text loader that is to help to load the particular file and extract the content from the file. So we have to provide a file that we have to provide our data set is used to load the data set and extract the data content from the data sets. I have this dan.txt file. Simply I'm going to copy the relative path from it and providing it into the form of raw string. It basically extract the content from basically extract the all the text from the particular file. This function helps to use, this is the function from the LangChain document loader text loader. And now the second thing that we have to load that particular file, so it's can easy to understand, easy to extract the text. We have to load that file by using a load function. Okay, okay, I use this file keyword. It's not working because we have to put in the file variable. Okay, now it should work. Now for loading the file, we have to convert the file. Into the chunks and the form of 1000 chunks, because this is a limit of my pre-10 module that we are going to use all MiniLM L6. So that's why I have to convert into the form of chunks. I'm using a splitter variable and splitter function. Like this, it is a recursive text splitter, but I have used in the form of splitter because it has very long string. That's why I use the splitter word. Simply I have to put this splitter word here. So it is a capital up in uppercase, S should be in uppercase. So simply I am using splitter function here. This is simple, and now we have to provide a chunk size to it. This chunk size should be 1000 word. You can maximize this chunk size if you want. If you have that model that can accept the more than 1000 chunks, you can give it, I give it 1000. So chunk size is equal to 1000, and chunk overlap is going to overlap after 200 millisecond, I think. So it's like a statement like this: overlap equal to 200. Okay, after this we have to dock another variable, that is dock data. Basically I have to load the whole data in the form of one variable, so that's why I have used a dock data. It's used to use the splitter variable that have a chunks. It's used to extract the content from the chunks. It's used to this functionality extract the content from the chunks, extract the text from the chunks. That 1000 words, this means extract the 1000 words from the chunk. Dot split document is a function from the splitter class. It's function from the LangChain. Split documents and provide the data. It's basically going to provide the data, going to provide the extracted data and put it into the split document, and then it should make the chunks of 1000 word and overlap the chunk again. After making this type, we have to store the provided result in the form of text that we have used, like this text. Basically the form converted the form of text into form of list. So I have give a parameter of text, so simply I'm going to use this text variable also there, so it can easily access to the different functions from the particular functions text. We have to convert this text in the form or content in the form of list that it should extract from the for loop, which I'm using a for loop, so it can extract the number of chunks. It extract the chunks from the in the form of loop. chunk page content. Okay, what it should do, it should extract the multiple chunks. It should extract the multiple text from the multiple chunks of doc data that is in this variable, that the chunks are stored in this variable. It's going to simply extract the multiple page content is the and the stored in the form of dictionary. The chunks is this function stored the chunks in the form of dictionary that have a page content variable. So what it should do, it should extract the page content variable, data from the page content variable in the form of chunk in the multiple chunks, and this chunk is stored in the form of list. That's why I use this for loop. It can get the whole chunks in the doc data variables. That's simply that we have to do. Now we have to now this last thing that we have to call the functions. To call this particular function, we have to define a path. It's a index path is a basically it's a path that you use to index path is basically is path of our files database file. We have to provide a files database file. I'm going to provide it uh, dan index dot bin. It's a file path. It's a numerical database file path that we have to provide it. There is not dan index dot bin. It should create it that this index path has been created by using this code and stored in this particular computer. After creating the index path, what we have to make, if we have to make the if condition, if aos dot path exists, it's export dot exist. If exist, what particular this if statement do is tell that if the os path dot exist, it's mean if this path if this file is exist in our project, it should you execute this if statement. It should have a model that we have defined earlier, stance transformer all minimum, and if I move to this all minimum and I correct the indentation, I should have to correct the indentation, so simply I have corrected the indentation. It load the if this path exists, it load the model of stance transformer, and after this it should simply load simply should load search files function from it. It's simply load the search files function from it, because it do not need to load this create the files file. It should not load the create files function, because in this function it has been creating a file. We don't need to create another external file, so we have already stored file. So simply run the search files file and perform the query on the data sets. So simply search files function and provide a parameter of index path, and the second thing is the model. We also have to provide a model txt. Basically we don't it's not in this we also have a parameter of model, so that's why we have to load the model, so it can take the model and put into this function. Okay, after this we have to make else condition. If the path does not exist, it should create a file. The else condition is work if the path does not exist. If this file does not exist, is create it's call this function. The function should work. The first function should work. It should create the file, and then the file has been stored into our system. After this whole code has been done, now I want you to run this code. I'm going to run this code and you will see the response. It should probably take a lot of time. It's a long chain community. There is no long chain community why it's showing this. but I have installed this package. Let me check this out why it is not working. Now I have installed the LangChain community. Now simply I'm going to run this code, and it probably take a lot of time because I have large amount of data. After getting this for after completed code has been run, I will back and give you a whole view of this response. So I'm going to stop this video and I will be back after getting the after running this code. I will get this error that recursive text separator has not attribute as no attribute split document. So I think I have wrong, I write a wrong statement, wrong code right there. So simply I'm going to fix this error. uh, Splitter, it's saying that splitter has no, okay, sorry, put the wrong spelling here. So simply what should I do? I will provide a correct spelling here. There is a split. I provided wrong spelling. So split. This is a split. Now again I'm going to run this code. Simply cls command here, and again it should be run. It probably take a minute. There is another error is showing that we provided a wrong name in module name. So simply what should I do? I provide a correct name, that is sentence transformer. If I move to the website here, it's one name that we have to provide. I will provide a wrong name, sorry for that. Simply what should I do? I move to this code and I will run it again. First I will clear the screen and run this. Sorry. Okay, now you can see that the file has been stored. The message has been displayed, the file has been stored, and you can see there is a 10 index bin has been a file has been stored. If I run this code again, it should not take a property, it should not take a lot of time, it should run for very fastly. If I run it, and you can ask the query from that 10 index.bn file. Let's wait for few 1 2 or 3 minutes, 1 or 3 minutes. I get through this error because it's saying that there is a wrong module name. I changed the module name from for first function, but for the second function there is a same module name, previous same module name, and just we have to change this module name also. So simply what should I do? I simply uh, change the module name and run it again. Okay, now you can see that there is a, you can see the file has been created and enter the question that you want to ask. If I open the dam.txt file and properly ask some question, that is 17 February 2020 2004, simply I will uh, copy this question and paste right there to retrieve the answer. You can see there. Okay, you can see that the answer, it's also retrieve the answer that 75 I'm speaking to my name is the true of YouTube channel videos. Next line band, it's provide the answer related to that particular question. My name is true in my YouTube channel is secretary, appreciation of situation experience, civilization of civilization history. Okay, let's take one more example. If I take this paragraph question, what is Mukesh movie? If I type there, what is Mukesh movie? You can see there Mukesh movies, but movie but substitute because it has no answer related to Mukesh movie, so simply it's giving only one line sentence. If I ask a Fox minister, what is Fox minister? What is Okay, you can see that the focusing URL productive. It is giving us the correct response and it's providing all the responses that we need for our particular project. That's it. If you like my video, please subscribe.